Alright guys, VPirate613 here. I'm actually going to be showing you some tips today of just general enhancing tips for Photoshop and how I usually edit some of the screenshots for the YouTube thumbnails. For most of my videos, I'm going to show you how you can get pictures like this, how you can enhance images just to make it stand out. So this is mostly for screenshot thumbnails. I'm not going to be focusing too much on these types of backgrounds. Here's one I did before, like these ones. I won't be showing you how to do those, but I'll be showing you how to mostly enhance images, just general tips as well. I'm not going to be focusing too much on how to texture text, but I will be showing you general stuff that I do to make text stand out, some general filters I use. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to close all of these and first thing you want to do is make sure that this is selected. So you want to go to file, no, it's not file, you want to go to edit and go straight to color settings. So when you're on color settings, you want to make sure that sRGB is selected, right? And then just press OK. Do this before you start editing or anything, otherwise it's going to mess up your layers at the bottom. So basically what this does is it's a more calibrated version of the colors when you do render out the image, so you don't get a dark image, or you get to keep most of the colors anyway, and it's just a better calibrated setting. So the next thing you want to do now is pretty much start on a blank canvas. So I want to go to file and go to new. So YouTube only allows up to 1:80 720p image, so you want to make sure that the width is at 1:80 and the height is at 720, and the color mode, obviously you want to keep it at RGB. Everything else you just leave it as it is, like mine that I have done. I'm not too sure about the resolution pixel inch, but I just leave it like this. It doesn't really bother me too much, so I'm just gonna unlock this background here. You don't really need this, so just double click on the little pad there and just press OK. You can just make it so that you can't see it, or just delete it by pressing your del button. For some reason it won't let me delete, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So the next thing you want to do is just go and open your screenshot, or wherever it's saved, or if you have screenshot it, just paste it in. So I do have a Witcher 3 screenshot I want to use, so I'm just going to open that. Because I record at 1920 by 1080, obviously this is a 1920 by 1080p picture, so I'm just going to use the rectangular marquee tool to select it, and then you can do edit and copy, or just do Control-C, and then we go back to the layer we want to, our canvas that we want to start working on, and just paste it. So you want to paste, quick shortcut, Control-V, and there you go. Or you can go to edit and paste, and we're going to resize this so obviously they fit on this. So a quick shortcut, again, do Control-T, and you can transform the image and just resize it. So I kind of want to keep everything. I don't since everything fits the picture. When you finish and you're happy resizing it, just press the tick button up there and you'll get this. So the first three things that generally I will do is this. So you want to go ahead to image, and these are the three settings that you can try. The problem with these settings is they don't always work in your favor, so I'll just show you how bad it can be. So I just set auto tone for you, and if I do auto color, auto color is a bit nicer, so we're going to keep that, and we're going to do auto contrast, give us a bit of more contrast. So next thing you want to do is go to image and adjustments. We want to work more on the brightness stuff. I'm going to click on curves, so I'm just going to show you that again. I was a bit too quick. So go to adjustment and go to curves. So this is going to allow you to add shadows, make darker areas darker or lighter, and make lighter areas lighter or darker. So what we're going to do is, I'm liking, there's a bit of a shadow here on this guy's face, and Garrett also has some shadows on his face. I like that depth that it's bringing, so I'm just gonna bring this down. So the lower you bring it down over here, you know, the darker things are going to be more darker. I don't want to make it too dark because we're going to be working on the highlights filter in a minute, and I want to make the lighter areas a bit lighter, so I'm going to drag this up a little bit. So yeah, I'm happy with that. You can mess around. All pictures are going to be different, all screenshots are going to be different, so you're going to have to be doing different edits on them compared to just, you know, having a normal template. So yeah, that's why I don't usually have presets done, because they don't always work the same. So I'm going to press OK, and we're just going to do the same thing. Go to image adjustments. This time we're going to add in some vibrance. So usually I go about, you know, 15, 10 on both of them. You can play with this depending on the picture. As you can see, I don't like how Reddit's made him, so I'm going to bring that down a bit. I like this. This color's a bit nicer, so I'm going to press OK. Just tend to mess around with them. You get different results with different pictures. Next thing I'm going to do, go back to it, go to adjustments, and I'm going to click on hue and saturation. So you can, I don't tend to play with this. You can change different colors. So I don't usually use this, but you can if you want to. So, but I'm just going to cancel that because I'm going to show you a better way. So if you go to image adjustments, and if you go to color balance, so this is mostly where, you know, my Skyrim pictures, I like to add in, you know, a nice in-depth picture. So usually I like this type of color. So the purples, I like purples. I usually edit it into purple. So we'll go off preview there. You can see the slight change. So I like that color. I'm going to press OK. Obviously, if you like blue, I mean, go with blue. But there is some charts out there showing what the human eye generally likes, or the human brain, the colors that the human brain generally likes. So if you want to go check those pictures out and details on those colors, yes, you go check them out. But yeah, I usually go with purple. It works well most of the time. So last thing I'm going to do is go to adjustments again and go right down to shadows and highlights. So as we can see, it's made it really bright. I want to bring the shadows down slightly because I want those harsh shadows there. And the highlights, I'm just going to leave it because it's making it too dark. So I'm just going to bring this up like that. As you can see, it's made the shadows a little bit brighter. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep it like that. I didn't even make a change. So generally, you know, bring the highlights up. Want to make stuff darker. You want to make the shadows lighter, bring it up as well. But I do like how it is. So that we're gonna leave it like that. The next thing I'm going to show you is a couple ways of sharpening an image. So very easy step. Normal sharpening that people tend to do is going to filter, going to sharpen, and going to smart sharpen. And these are the settings I usually leave it at. You can, you know, put it up if you want to, but I tend to leave it at this. If I go off preview there, you can see the change that it's made. As you can see, his forehead's really sharpened. Don't really worry about it too much because the image is going to be smaller, a smaller preview on YouTube, so you're not going to be seeing this much detail anyway. So I'm just going to press OK, and if I just make the zoom at 40, you can see that it doesn't really show. This is a bit bigger that of what YouTube previews, but as you can see, you know, the sharpen doesn't really have that much effect. So another quick tip I'll show you, if you go to here and select the Polygonal Lasso tool, and you know, say you wanna make Geralt's armor a bit sharpened a bit more. Because, you know, his armor doesn't look that sharp. And if you want to make the embroidery on his armor, this guy's armor more sharp, and you can do that. You can select the area, specific areas you want to be sharpened. So if I just quickly select, you know, Geralt's armor, I'm just going to do this very quickly. Don't want to waste too much time. Obviously, the more time, the more you spend with this, it's gonna look a lot nicer. So I want to sharpen his armor a lot more, so we're just gonna do the same thing, do filter, do sharpen, and we do smart sharpen. And if we just go off the preview, you can see there's some slight sharpening there. If I bring this up though, you can see the difference before and after. Okay, it just looks more detailed. This, you know, his scarf just looks more detailed. You can even like go and sharpen his you know, his weapons. They look quite blurred out there, so you can do that. But I'm just going to show you another way of sharpening. So if I go back, quick way to go back, undo is to do Control Alt Z. We're just going to keep going back until all the sharpening is undone. So here we go, all the sharpening's undone. Now another way to sharpen images is to duplicate. So we're going to right click on our original image and duplicate layer, and we're just going to name it whatever. I'm going to call it D so we know it's not the original image. So what we're going to do is put this at overlay, or I think it's overlay. So you're going to stick this on the overlay option here, and excuse me, go to filter, go to other, and select high pass, and you can see it's sharpened the image up nicely. So if I bring this up, it's gonna look completely terrible, but some people really, I see some people who really like these types of sharpened images, but I tend to just stick it around 1. But this doesn't look too bad. I mean, I'm gonna stay at 1 though, just for the purposes of the texturing I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna stick it at 1. I like this a lot more, but the problem is if you do end up moving the duplicated layer that was sharpened on, this is what's gonna happen. So we don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select both of them. So Control and just click on the other one, and we're gonna link the layers. So if I move one now, the other one's gonna move along with it. Just a quick tip there, if you don't want to be, you know, if you do mess up. So next thing now that I'm gonna show you is texturing. So easy way to get some texturing done is to go and find some textures on Google. So we're just gonna click on Google, and you can go on Google. I did do this before, but I messed the tutorial up. So what I'm gonna do, go to Google and just type in textures, okay, and go to images, and you'll find some textures. Do try to find some free stock ones. You don't want to get into too much trouble. So like these ones, you know, these types of textures, if you want to add depth, try to find ones that you think are gonna work. But also make sure, you know, the size is right, so you can resize it and it won't look bad. So I already have some textures available. I'm just gonna open one up. So I've got some of these textures saved. What I'm gonna quickly do is open some of them because I have saved them. So this is one of the nicer textures I like using. So of course, do mess around with textures because not all of them are gonna work well. So we're gonna do what I did before. Use the rectangular marquee tool to select this area and just Control C, and then just paste it here. So obviously I only find textures that are the right size, so 1280 by 720, but you can also resize it if it's too big or too small. So the general thing that I tend to use for the blending is overlay. So I'm gonna select overlay. I'm just gonna turn down the opacity a little bit, and you can see the difference that this really makes. You know, if I take this out, it really gives it, you know, makes your picture unique, and this is really what I, you know, recommend using. So the next thing, the final thing I'm going to show you is some text editing. So usually, you know, I don't recommend you using any default text. So, you know, if you want a Witcher font, just go to Google. It's that simple, and just type in Witcher free font, and you know, you go to a site like this and you'll get a font that is unique, and that is Witcher, and that's also free to use. I recommend thefont.com. This is where I get most of mine. So I'm quickly going to show you how you download these fonts. But just download this. You're going to get a zip file. So I'm just going to open that zip real quick. I'm just going to paste it in my fonts folder. I do have a lot of fonts. I'm just going to paste this here, and I'm just going to extract it. I hope you guys know how to extract. Just right click extract. You're going to need WinRAR for this. So if you don't have this, just get WinRAR. I'm pretty sure it's free. So what was that called again? That's called Morpheus, wasn't it? Where is it? It's not called Morpheus. Yeah, here we go, Morpheus. So if you're on Windows 10, just right click here on the taskbar and go to control panel. So open your control panel. If you're on a different OS, it's just pretty much the same. So with Windows, it's very simple. Just type in fonts and just view installed fonts. Click on view installed fonts, and simply, you want this font, just drag it in. Just drag it in here, and it's gonna install the font. Now with Photoshop, what's nice about Photoshop is it will usually install in real time. So if I type in where's my M button, if I type in Morpheus, as you can see, it's right here. And now I can just, if I can type in the Witcher. I do have a new setup. My arm extension mount is right in front of my keyboard, so I'm gonna have to get used to writing again. So yeah, I'm just gonna resize it. Control T, resize it. Just make it as big as you want it to be, wherever you want it to be, and then I'm just gonna press the tick button. Now as you can see, it's really horrible. I don't like, this is really annoying. Let me just close this. So black isn't really a good color, so I'm just going to show you some text options. If you don't use rulers, if you do if you do Control R, you get rid of the rulers. If you do Control R again, you can get some more rulers. So if you really want to make it so it's properly in the middle, just drag from the left there until this snaps into place. And as you can see, that's the middle section, and you can just drag that as well, the top bit, and we get a nice middle section here. I tend not to use rulers too much depending on what I do, but rulers are a really nice way to just get everything lined up, so I do use them. So what we're going to do is select the text edit option here, the text that you want to edit, and go to the bottom and press the FX, and we're just going to press blending options. So what I enjoy, the blending options I enjoy using is bevel and contour, and also stroke. So we're gonna change the color of this anyway. Also add in some drop shadow if you want to. We're gonna add in a gradient. Gradients are nice. We're just gonna click on the gradient here and just scroll down. These are some of the custom stuff that I've made. But it is Witcher, so let's make it darker. So if we click on the bottom here, and we can change the color of the bottom, and just you can drag this up or down to give it some more depth. But if you want a different color, you totally can use a different color. The stroke as well, if you want to make this white, you can. You want to make it black, you can. The black doesn't really work well, so I suggest using a different color. There's blue. Just find the color that works. This is where you're editing. Your eye will come into place. Your eye will play, and you just find a color you really enjoy or really works well. I'm not really going to add a gradient. I'm going to stick it with black and make this white. Now even that looks ugly. Yeah, I am going to make this black and just add in, just keep this gradient. I mean, it's fine. One other thing I tend to do, you know, if you do get a problem like this where, you know, the color at the bottom there isn't really nice, is, you know, I will tend to use this rectangle tool. So I'm just going to draw this rectangle tool around this area where I want to make this text stand out, and I'm just going to make everything black and the fill black, and I'm just going to drag the opacity down. You want to also make sure that this is under the text layer, and you want to make the opacity a bit low, just to make it stand out, just to make the text stand out. So here we go. We just have some edits here and there just to make it stand out a bit. Now if I click off this is what it's gonna look like. I think it looks alright, actually. It looks fine. So these are my general tips, and these are the general things I tend to go through. Also, I forgot to mention the way to save these photos. So if you want to save this photo, just go to File, just do Save As, and you want to save this as PNG. Okay, don't save it as anything else. If you want the most quality, save it as PNG. I'm just going to name this Test. Okay, okay, I already have something named Test. I'm going to name it Test 2. Just save it as PNG. Don't save it as JPEG. JPEG's not as high quality as PNG. And just press Save. Keep this compression to smallest, and keep interlace to none, and just press OK, and you're done. And that's how easy it is. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I mostly enjoy unscripting stuff, so you know, I tend to get stuck, but you know, I'm actually speaking like a normal person, not reading off a script or anything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give us a sub if you want to see more. If you want to see different ways of editing, you know, if you want to see how I do this, then let me know and I'll show you. If you want to see how to texturize text, let me know. This is mostly, you know, simple stuff you can do to just enhance your thumbnail. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you guys.